Now we're going to run through some of the financial practices within church. Churches, like any business, run functionally off of cash flow. Otherwise, they would have no employees, no salaried or hourly employees. They would be functioning off of volunteers only. And trust me, most churches, once you get to the upper small level into the medium level, as far as your size, you cannot function off of volunteers alone. Are there ways of running a financially honest church? Well, of course, but there are very few churches that choose to do this. I have worked with or for one church in my life, and I've only heard of that one church in my life who had a financially honest way of running their business. In the term honest, I understand it's a loose term. So what I should really say is transparent. Financially transparent churches would require reports to be complete and public to their congregation. When was the last time you saw your church's financial reports? I would venture to say that the answer is probably never. This should read like a P&L because it is a P&L. I currently manage a construction and restoration company, so I get monthly and yearly and quarterly P&Ls. For those of you who don't know, what a P&L is, essentially, is your revenue, your earnings, your profit, your expenses, your overhead. It is a full report of all the money coming in and out of your business for all different reasons. Depending on your kind of business, that'll look kind of different, but that is, in essence, what a P&L is for any business. Now, for a church who is financially transparent with their congregation, there would be a list of things that you would read. So this is what they would be. You'd have tithes to date. That would be your primary revenue for the church. You would have above and beyond donations. These are usually seasonal or quarterly extra earning runs that the church does to try to bring in more revenue, more income. You would have revenue from any other businesses that the church has. Some churches own bookshops or coffee shops or other businesses within the community or within the physical church itself. Those are other revenue income streams. So that would be on this report as well. You'd have all the salaries for all the employees. You'd have all the hourly rates for all the employees. It would be a total number, but it would be depicted on the sheet. You would have business expenses, overhead. This would be things like cups of coffee for Sunday morning, chairs, lights, fog machines nowadays, screens for the computers, screens for up on the stage behind the pastor, the dunk tanks for the baptisms, right? All these things would be overhead expenses for the church that would be on your P&L. There would be another line usually for something like technology subscriptions, social media managers, marketing, sales. These are like evangelical costs. It's Facebook Marketplace ads. Then beyond that, you'd have rent for the building, unless the church owned the building, but there are still expenses. You have utilities, right? These are bills that have to be paid. You would have something else probably for most churches that would be missionary expenses. These are mission trips, leaders' wages, travel expenses, stipends while these people are out. And that's a limited number. It would be a lot more stuff than that. But that at least, all that should at least be on a church's P&L. And in my opinion, a financially transparent church would make those reports public to their congregation. If you think churches' financial reports should be transparent, open, honest, and publicly available to the congregation, to the people who are paying their salaries, then like this video for me. As I mentioned, I did work with a church who was financially transparent with their congregation. I didn't work for them, but I worked with them on some projects. What this meant was everyone in the congregation, I believe they did it twice a year or 4 times. They either did it quarterly or biannually. I can't remember. But they would basically on Sunday morning at every service, they would put up on the screen behind the pastor their financials, and they would talk about it for about 10-15 minutes, explain where the congregants' money is actually going. Meaning they knew how much the lead pastor made. They knew how much the youth pastor made in comparison to the lead pastor. They knew how much total the church was spending on other staff salaries. They knew how much the church was spending on things like lighting, graphics designer, social media marketing, and advertising. They knew how much of their money was actually going towards feeding the hungry, going towards mission trips. This was all public and available and shown to you if you showed up on the day that they made it public for the church. But at any time, you could go on their website and you could pull financials for any year. I feel this is the only way to run a truly honest church. And of course, this is my opinion. I am entitled to my opinion. My opinion is not fact. It is what I feel inside of myself. But we have seen way too much of misappropriation, actual funneling and mishandling of finances within the systematic church. A place where transparency, honesty, respect, and accountability should be beyond what the secular world is. Having a public and transparent financial plan and availability to your congregants as a church is an incredible way of building trust with those people who both attend your church and literally pay your salary. You as congregants are the sole reason that that church is alive. You are the reason that pastor can feed his kids. You are the reason that everybody that works there is able to pay their bills. You then should have the right to see where the money is going, what is being allocated to what, and how much these people are making.